Tonight, Iran's retaliation. In the midst of a second round of blistering strikes by Israeli and U.S. forces, Iran retaliates by targeting Israel and other U.S. allies in the region. We have team coverage.
I'm NPR's Tayeb in the Gulf Kingdom of Oman, one of several U.S. allies in the region being targeted in retaliatory Iranian drone and missile attacks.
Today, we learned of American troops killed and more seriously wounded. Plus, following the death of their supreme leader, who is in power in Iran? And the new warning from President Trump.
I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death.
Possible terror attack. A gunman in Texas opening fire wearing a Property of Allah shirt. At least 2 killed, 14 injured. Americans stranded. Closed airspace in the war zone means canceled flights to and from the U.S. And later, an excursion where the wind is the catch of the day and sailors feel the need for speed.
Little faster than a water? Yeah.
This is the CBS Weekend News from New York with Jerika Duncan.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We begin with confirmation of the first American casualties since the U.S. and Israel launched attacks on Iran. 3 service members have been killed, at least 5 others wounded. Today, President Trump addressed those losses in a new video.
As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation.
And a new wave of deadly strikes today from the U.S. and Israel. But the country of more than 90 million people is not backing down. They're even launching missiles toward neighbors that host U.S. military bases. All of that, and President Trump says he's still open to talks with Iran's new leadership. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is in Tel Aviv, where he has been in and out of bomb shelters all day. Charlie, good evening.
Good evening, Jerika. So CBS News has learned that those 3 U.S. service members killed were among American personnel based in Kuwait. As you said, another 5 were seriously wounded. These are the first American deaths since the joint U.S.-Israel campaign dubbed Operation Epic Fury began. Day 2 of the war and the aerial battle between both sides has intensified by the hour. In Iran's capital city, Tehran, explosions rang out. Eyewitnesses claiming Israeli missiles had hit a hospital, a day after Iranian state media said more than 100 were killed at an elementary school. Some Iranians cheered in the streets at the news of the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But today, thousands of pro-regime demonstrators gathered instead, a day of anger that became an evening of mourning, the start of 40 days for their supreme leader. Israel Defense Forces released this video today, saying it shows a regime headquarters leveled with multiple missile strikes, one of hundreds of targets they struck. IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani told us how swiftly that operation unfolded.
A coordinated attack on multiple locations, decapitating the Iranian leadership.
Simultaneously?
Yes.
Including Ayatollah Ali Khamenei?
Khamenei was part of those who were eliminated in the first minute of the operation.
The first minute of the operation?
We had real-time intelligence about a gathering.
The Iranian military has vowed revenge, striking back. A missile hitting the shelter of a synagogue west of Jerusalem, killing at least 9. While last night, a residential neighborhood in downtown Tel Aviv was shattered by a strike that left 1 woman dead and dozens injured. Today, an Israeli Air Force official told CBS News they believe forces have been successful in intercepting 90% of incoming missiles and drones fired into Israel. President Trump said he will avenge the deaths of the 3 U.S. service members and said that combat operations in Iran will not only continue, they're actually going ahead of schedule.
Charlie Charlie D'Agata for us in Tel Aviv. Thank you. And today, as Charlie and many others in Israel took cover as air raid sirens rang out after Tehran vowed revenge for the killing of its supreme leader. Israel said its Iron Dome defense system blocked dozens of incoming missiles, but not all of them. CBS's MTS Tayeb reports from the Gulf of Oman.
Oh my God.
The powerful Iranian strikes have shattered Dubai's image as a luxurious safe haven of glittering hotels and high-end resorts. So too have the thick plumes of smoke that choke the skies above the Qatari capital Doha, known for its opulence and calm. The Kingdom of Bahrain also wasn't spared. Neither was Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, or Oman, where tankers were struck just off its shores in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital global shipping route where 1/5 of the world's oil passes through. In all, dozens of people have been injured and at least 4 killed in the Iranian attacks on the Gulf that have largely grounded flights and shut down commerce in the region. Tehran's decision to fire volleys of missiles and drones at the group of countries that make up the Gulf has only upped the ante. Most countries here host large U.S. military bases, housing tens of thousands of American service members, including the headquarters of the Navy's 5th Fleet in Bahrain, which was struck on Saturday. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has threatened his country's armed forces will, quote, crush the U.S. bases with force. And while most Iranian drones and missiles have been intercepted and no Gulf nation has fired back, the question now is, for how long? Fears of a sustained conflict expanding beyond Iran's borders have only grown following the killing of the supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. In Pakistan, pro-regime demonstrators attempted to storm the U.S. consulate in Karachi. At least 20 people were killed. Protests have also erupted in Iraq, where hundreds were pushed away from the Green Zone in Baghdad with water cannons just a short distance from the American embassy. Now, sources inside Iran tell CBS News the regime's apparent strategy of carrying out attacks on Gulf countries is likely part of a risky effort to try and shorten the war, since the ongoing missile and drone strikes could see Arab leaders try to pressure the U.S. and Israel to end their campaign early, Jerika, an apparent gamble which so far has not paid off.
MTS Tayeb for us in Oman. Thank you. Earlier today, one of Iran's most influential clerics called for the U.S. and Israel to be eradicated. For now tonight, the FBI is investigating a possible terror attack in Austin, Texas. A gunman killed 2 people, and then police shot and killed the suspect. Later, officials searched his home, finding an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders. CBS's Jason Allen is in Austin with the very latest. Jason, what more do we know?
Well, Jerika, the shooting started at the bar you see back behind me with the large heart. Police tonight, investigators have closed off 7 blocks of this very popular, busy entertainment district. It was filled with people early this morning when the shooting started.
Where is it? Video shows people taking cover inside a bar as a gunman fired shots toward them from the window of an SUV. Then, police said he parked and got out with a rifle and started firing again. Within less than a minute, 3 police officers patrolling the busy entertainment district shot and killed the gunman. Paramedics immediately started trying to save the lives of the 19 people shot. 2 of them died. 3 more were in critical condition. Sources identified the shooter to CBS News as Ndiaga Diagne, a naturalized U.S. citizen originally from Senegal.
There were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
The gunman, in a photo obtained by Fox News, was wearing a sweatshirt that said "Property of Allah" and had a Quran in his vehicle. Investigators searching his home north of Austin found an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders, according to officials close to the investigation.
This is what keeps the intelligence community up at night. Not people directly associated with terrorist groups, but people who become inspired because of things that are happening in the world.
And we're learning more about the gunman tonight. He entered the country in 2000, became a citizen in 2013, had one arrest here in Texas in 2022 related to an accident with injuries, and officials tell us he did have a history of mental health conditions. Jerika?
Jason Allen, thank you. In Washington, lawmakers are deeply divided over the strikes against Iran, some emphasizing that only Congress has the power to declare war. Before leaving Florida today, President Trump said there would be no immediate end to the fighting. CBS's Willie James Enman has more on the president's comments. Good evening, Willie James.
Jerika, good evening to you. In that new video President Trump posted today, he commended the service members who lost their lives. The president also giving a timeline for Operation Epic Fury in an interview, saying it's always been a 4-week process.
America will avenge their deaths.
President Trump is speaking out after the deaths of 3 American service members during Operation Epic Fury.
Sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
He defended the actions as right and necessary and said they would be ongoing.
Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved.
On Face the Nation, Republican Senator Tom Cotton said he also expected strikes would continue, but said U.S. boots on the ground are unlikely.
The president has no plan for any kind of large-scale ground force inside of Iran.
Senior Trump administration officials told reporters on Saturday Iran intended to use ballistic missiles against the U.S. and its allies in the region. But Democratic lawmakers are demanding answers, questioning if Iran posed an immediate threat to the U.S. and why the president didn't get congressional authorization.
This is a disaster. It is illegal. And the president is obligated under the Constitution to come to Congress and ask for an authorization of military force.
Members of Congress are scheduled to receive briefings on the Iran operation this week.
We have had very little visibility into what happens next after the Supreme Leader is eliminated. I think we still don't know what is happening next.
Now, it's unclear if or when talks between the U.S. and Iran could restart, but over the weekend, the president posting on social media warning the nation against retaliation. Jerika.
Willie James Enman, thank you. Tonight, Iran faces a risky transition with the killing of its supreme leader, his death leaving a power vacuum atop the regime. CBS's Matt Gutman in Amman, Jordan, has more on that. Matt?
Jerika, good evening. We're right under the flight path of those Iranian missiles here in Jordan. We've been watching them streak across the night sky. Those missiles fired by Iran in retaliation. And for the first time today, state media announcing the death of Ayatollah Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader for the past 37 years. The Islamic Republic now marking 40 days of mourning for the Ayatollah, and also wiped out top military and political leadership, at least 40 people, according to Israel. A succession plan was put in place months ago, but I'm told the gears of the bureaucracy and much of the military and the secret police are still in place. Analysts tell me that for the regime, merely absorbing these airstrikes and surviving against threats, both internal and external, will be considered a kind of victory. And it's one reason that Israeli military officials tell me that they are hoping to accelerate their attacks against the regime to try to topple it before President Trump decides perhaps to pause those strikes and re-engage in talks with whatever is left of Iran's leadership. Jerika.
Yeah, so much uncertainty. Matt Gutman, thank you. Up next, how Americans stuck in the Middle East are trying to get home. Stay with us. This weekend, nearly all the airspace in the Middle East is closed or severely restricted. That's left many travelers, including Americans, forced to find another way home. CBS's Chanel Call spoke to some of them.
Dubai, one of the busiest travel hubs in the world, targeted by an Iranian strike. Flights throughout the region grounded and passengers forced to evacuate. Chicago DJ Mixu Patel planned to lay over in nearby Abu Dhabi on his way to India.
Once I got to my gate, they're like, all the flights are suspended because every single person got an emergency message saying, hey, there's a possible missile strike. So if you want to cover yourself, stay away from windows.
And so, how are you, as an American, sort of processing this?
I'm usually used to seeing like flood warnings or tornado warnings, but like I saw that warning as a missile strike. That did scare me inside. Like I'm like, holy cow, it's about to go down.
A drone attack also damaged the Kuwait airport. The escalation forcing Doha, Qatar, and Israel to shut their airspace. This group of Baptist pastors from the U.S. visiting Israel on a Bible study spent the weekend in and out of bomb shelters.
We are essentially stuck.
We spoke with Pastor Wes Church from Columbia, South Carolina. What are you going to do next?
Well, you know, the concern is how long is it going to be before the Tel Aviv Ben Gurion Airport opens up? So we have come south because from here we can get across the border into Egypt or across the border into Jordan.
Americans like Church now forced to take matters into their own hands if they want to get home soon.
The adrenaline rush of what to do, where to go, what's about to happen, who do we tell, are we going to the right place, how much time do we have?
The U.S. Embassy in Israel announcing it will close tomorrow. The State Department now advising all Americans stuck abroad to have their own departure plans in place and not rely on the government for help. Jerika?
Chanel Call, thank you. Still ahead on the CBS Weekend News, 2 people left dangling from a burst balloon more than 900 feet in the air. We'll tell you how it ended. Some precarious moments in East Texas over the weekend when a hot air balloon collided with a cell phone tower. The 2 people in the balloon were trapped near the top of the structure, 925 feet in the air. Rescue crews had to climb up the tower while battling high winds. The 2 were thankfully brought down safely and taken to the hospital. Well, more good news this weekend for America's most famous bald eagle couple. Have you seen it? I'm talking about the Nest Cam at California's Big Bear Valley. It shows Mom Jackie laid her 2nd egg of the week. The dad's shadow is waiting nearby. And experts say a 3rd egg could be on the way. It's another chance for the couple as they lost their first 2 eggs to ravens last month. Next on the CBS Weekend News, an exhilarating sailboat ride on the ice. Wondering how that works? We'll explain in a moment. But first, a look back at this day in history.
On a cold and bleak March 1st, 1932, the little boy was kidnapped from his 2nd-floor bedroom.
The Watergate grand jury today indicted 7 former top-level Nixon administration and campaign aides for plotting to cover up the scandal.
Finally, as winter drags on across much of the country, some are looking for new ways to enjoy nature. In tonight's Weekend Journal, CBS's Noel Brennan ventures out on a frozen lake in Wisconsin on a sailboat.
Everybody's going to want to come out here and go fishing now.
On a frozen lake, when few fish are biting,
one little northern,
you're better off trying to catch the wind.
This is pretty good. It's a very nice day.
On Wisconsin's Geneva Lake, the best way to catch the wind is to bring a boat that's made for winter.
So this is called Burr Rub-a-Dub-Dub.
Rich Stearns readies his boat every season.
Ice is about a foot thick.
That's ready to go.
And Jerry Ring drives up from Chicago to catch a ride.
I will admit I'm an adrenaline junkie.
At 79,
have been.
Nothing scratches his adrenaline itch like hopping on board a boat with 3 skates and no brakes.
People go, wait a minute, you're supposed to have stopped doing this 20 years ago. But I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
The Dutch were the first to ice boat, but Americans made it their own.
Theodore Roosevelt had an ice boat, a big ice boat, and he would sail on the Hudson River.
Now skippers compete in races on different classes of ice boats.
The power of the wind is so spectacular.
The boats can race up to 5 times the speed of the wind. Think highway speeds on ice.
Oh yeah. Best I've ever done on that boat over there was 72 knots according to my GPS, which is just at 80 miles an hour.
No need to break records to feel the rush.
A little faster than on water?
Yeah. I mean, we might be going 50 every so often here. Going pretty fast.
Some prefer it as a spectator sport.
Got all the beautiful houses and ice boats going by, and yeah.
On a frozen lake, the wind is the catch of the day.
When someone says it's time to ice boat, you go.
Noel Brennan, CBS News, Fontana, Wisconsin.
Just as long as the lake stays frozen. Well, that is the CBS Weekend News for this Sunday. I'm Jerika Duncan in New York. Tomorrow night on the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopel, he reports from the Middle East. For now, we thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.